What's going on, guys and girls? It's the Short Bear. I just wanted to quickly say that we have a 4th of July sale. You can get from 20 to 30% off using the code July for a month or July for year with the code down below in the description. What is going on, guys and girls? It's the Short Bear, and today we're going to talk about my trading in June. We're going to talk about my P&L curve, about the trades I took. I'm going to show you a few tickers that I traded. And we're gonna basically talk about everything that you need to know about my performance. So this is my P&L curve for the last 30 days. As you can see, it's not as clean as let's say back in May, but still a really nice month profit-wise. I continuously have been sizing up over the last few months, so even though I had to take a couple of bigger losses in the last 30 days. Overall, this should be one of my best months ever. I think number 2 or number 3, which is really nice to see. So this is my P&L curve for the last 90 days. As you can see, we had a really nice period back in May, more clean. Alright, then this period right now, towards the end of May and June. As you can see, the P&L curve doesn't look as consistent as back in May. This is because we had a couple of tickers, and it was actually the first time that I probably took 30 paper cuts in a row. During my whole trading career, it happened in the past that sometimes like 15 ideas or 15 entries didn't work out when I had to take losses. But this time it was really like 25 or 30 paper cuts in a row, which was right here. So as you can see on the chart, it doesn't look like much because I control my losses very well. All right, I only add 2 winners. So when I lose very, very small. And I'm gonna show you that on my daily P&L chart, which will be coming now. Alright, so this is the daily P&L for the last 30 days. As you can see, we had some really nice winning days the whole time, especially towards the end of June. We had a couple of really nice winners and an all day, all week, all green week basically. But as you can see, I took a pretty sizable loss. This was the day. Alright, this is basically this dip right here on the chart. Doesn't look like much on the chart, but as you can see, it's a big red day or bigger red day. But as you can see, normally I control all the losses, and right around 50% of the time I will win on those red days. But on this day, I took right around 30 paper cuts, one after the other. Alright, so in a row. Which I can't do anything about, right? It's gonna happen sometimes where just every idea doesn't work, or a stock doesn't kind of give you the opportunity to size up and takes you out every time. Now let's talk about the performance by day, all right, which is right here. As you can see, this month my best day basically was on Thursday. My worst day was Friday. Everything is green, so that's pretty nice to see. As you can see, at the start of the week, so I still kind of trying to start slow, and then the more we advance in the week, the more I get confident and the more I size up, which is reflected by the performance by day. Friday is a day where you get more emotional than other days because you know you're gonna go into the weekend and you don't want to lose as much. If you lose, and more than often, this will reflect negatively on your trading. This month though, Friday was not or were not red, or I didn't see any profits on Fridays, not because I traded badly, but because at the start of the month I was in Egypt, so I wasn't able to trade on the first Friday. And since then, on Fridays every single week, I have to to leave for right around an hour, so I don't want to size up if I know I have to go. So I've been trading small size. Fridays is still, even that tiny blue bar still profits, so pretty happy about that. And now starting July, I'll be full-time there also on Fridays. So it should look even better next month. Now let's talk about the performance by hour of the day, right? Which comes here. As you can see, my best time is from the pre-market basically into the open. That's my most profitable time frame, right? This is because my favorite pattern is the all-day fader basically, so the gap and grabs all-day faders, which usually starts towards 7 a.m. where they gap up, and from there on they fade, fade, fade. So that's why most of my profits will come from there, especially in the market we've been in for the last, let's say, 2 months or something. We have been seeing some more volume trading in the pre-market, which is nice because it allows me to size up a bit more. Yeah, take it into the open. As you can see, those are my most profitable hours. And my worst time will be at right around 12, all right? Why is that? It's because stocks tend to bounce, all right? To bounce towards 12, which takes basically profit away, all right? And that leads to that red bar. And then at 2 p.m., usually stocks reverse. So some of the stocks I trade on the short side will reverse, which leads to a cut of the ad or of the full position. And towards the end of the day, usually we see a nice panic, especially this month after so many were long bias. Stocks are back to, not all, but a lot of stocks I personally trade and like to size up on, fade into the close, which allows me to take some more profits there. And then basically after hours is pretty much break even for the 30 last days, or for June actually, only for June. But overall I'm green if we look at the last 3 months during after hours too, which is really nice because we've been seeing some plays like MU, so earnings winners and so on, that have been ramping in the after hours. Now the performance by duration time, alright, as you know, or at least most of you know, or the persons that work with me know, my trades are always not small, but I have normal size at first, alright, which allows me to take a paper cut if it doesn't work out. The best positions, alright, you'll have to basically almost kind of chase the stock, because the stock is so heavy. If you want to short, for example, so heavy that it barely pops, all right? But on the stocks that you are wrong on, usually you'll be red right away, so it won't work, proving you wrong. So there's really no reason to add to that position, and I usually just cut it. So that's why you can see my red time, all right, the times I am wrong, I cut right away within basically most of the time 10 minutes, and a few less after 20 minutes, or during the 10 first minutes to 20 minutes. And after that, basically that's the time where usually I get a nice wash and a bounce and so on, where I can add and pyramid into the position, giving me more and more profits. And as you can see, the best positions are those that I hold the longest, so 4 hours and over, which are basically stocks where I start in at 7 a.m. or whatever, or at 9:30. And after that, during the afternoon, it kind of gets into another range lower, which allows me to bring my stop down, to manage the risk better, to add more size, all right, and risk the same dollar amounts, basically right around there. And nice wash towards the end of the day, in which I cover. So as you can see, losers are taken care of right away. They don't get big, and the winners are really big, and usually last longer. Now the performance by ticker, all right. This month actually Tesla was the stock that I made the or lost the most on, alright. It's not a big number, as you can see. The winners are far bigger. And BYND, yeah, BYND, as I said, was my best ticker ever. And it should still be, I think, the best ticker I have, despite the loss this month on it. I rarely traded BYND, right, at the start of the month, maybe 2 times or something. And I just saw, right, you know what, the strength is back into that stock. That was basically after the fail over $100, all right, once it kind of reclaimed towards the 100 mark, kind of putting in small dodges and then gapping up every single day. That was the time period, all right. Once it gapped up over that area and broke out, basically I just left it alone. And Tesla, yeah, a lot of stop outs, usually from mistiming the entries, all right, reading it kind of right, but mistiming it most of the time. Like on Friday, where I saw a big options block going on, indicating a move down pretty fast due to basically a move into the close, all right. But I mistimed it by like 20 minutes, which led to me taking a loser. Basically, Tesla is only like paper cuts after paper cuts, nothing major. A few other names were basically OTLK, alright, super manipulated stock. Clearly many players on it with an agenda, and I just left it alone. Didn't work out. But otherwise, yeah, as you can see, the winners are far bigger than the losers, alright, despite the two slightly bigger losers. As you can see, my biggest winners are far bigger than my losers. And we have a lot more stocks with big profits than stocks with big losses. So MU, really, really nice stock, as I said. After hours, a ramp, and the next day, super nice long, followed by a super nice short. So as you can see, I said on Twitter that MU was probably my best long ever, and that reflects in my stats right there. MNLT, a really, really nice ticker. As I said, I was trading it pre-market, took $2 profit on it on the front side, long, and after that at the open, hammered it short, which led to a really nice win. Nerve, pretty much same thing, nice dilution. If I remember correctly, 75 million convertibles, which everyone kind of missed. Or maybe Nerve was even the ticker with the 50 million ATM, which was in the filing linked to the S3 and not to the S1, which was withdrawn. Seal, same thing, really nice ticker. Super big seller on the tape the whole time, so we started in pre-market and during the day took it off. Yeah, so that's basically it for this video. I wanted to recap a bit. And I'm gonna make another video which is planned for the next days, the next coming days, where I will go into those tickers, all right? I'm gonna talk a lot more about every single of my best tickers, show you the technicals and the fundamentals, but actually I'm gonna show you a couple of trades right now, all right? So the best trades this month, Nerve, all right? As you can see, really nice ticker. At the start of the day, I took it short. I think I even took it short before, all right, pre-market, but it doesn't show on this chart on TraderView. So started shorting, took a few partials, and had my stop exactly at 8. It touched 8, all right, so top tick out. But I was expecting a big ramp, all right, so not only kind of touching 8, but I thought if we get to 8, we're going to see a big parabolic, because it was also the fashion that the style that the manipulators used in the past days, where they stop out the shorts, the high up day, take the stops and dump, basically searching for liquidity. But on this one, it just touched it and came back down. So I reshorted full size, wrote it down, added some more size, trimmed once as it broke over my risk level, but it came back down right away. So put back on my full size. Once we broke down, I took a partial, added back, all right, some, added more, trimmed a bit, and added back everything. Alright, playing off that 650 mark. I think it also like top ticked me out before coming back down. Same thought process. I thought we could really fly over 650, but it kept on being heavy. And then into the end of the day, I had basically my short from the 8th, my second tier here, my third tier basically here. Basically right here, I think I took like half or like 1/3 off and added back half here and full here. And I mean, added back here and added even more there. Took it off into the wash, alright, towards the end of the day, kind of tried to take some off and add some more, and then I added back pretty much like, I think 1/3 of my position from the day, which was basically as big as my entry in the morning, but trimmed a bit towards the end of the day, because I didn't want to swing so much, swing a bit more, or swung what I had here, and covered the next day into the dip, into the wash, I mean into the morning panic at 550, so really nice play there. Next one, Seal, alright, Seal, same thing, I shorted it pre-market, as you can see, near 3, but it doesn't show on the chart, so started in here, alright, right around here at $3. And after that, in the morning, I waited, alright, because we had that big wash, as you can see here, but I couldn't add, alright, I couldn't add here because I wanted to pop, I wanted to see how we react with strength, but as you can see, we put in a big wick, spiked here into some resistance, which was pre-market, I think 255 to 260, there was some resistance there, but as I saw that we rejected right away the open, I added some more second tier, basically covered into the wash under the low of the day, saw it bounce, I added back everything right here, covered into the wash and covered everything at 2.25 at the gap fill, so really easy trade, that one, and it reflects in my P&L curve. AXGT, alright, super nice ticker. That was one day after MNLT. MNLT trapped the whole day, alright. Looked basically nearly exactly the same as in the morning, but as I said in chat, AXGT isn't the same stock, alright. You can't compare two stocks that are fundamentally completely different. And I thought every single person in this one would be basically, alright, shorts, got squeezed in the morning a bit, but after that, pretty much just longs, thinking MNLT kind of style rip into the afternoon. But every time we popped, alright, every time we popped, we put in wicks. We couldn't make it up, but as you can see, we got some bottom wicks too, so kind of indecision right here. Tip showing me some weakness, and then some longs, basically thinking, alright, they're gonna trap it, but as you can see, no trap. So at the $8 area, I thought, you know what, if we get back to 8, we're gonna see a rip, but same thing, super heavy, couldn't make it over 8, so I shorted some right here, and once we kind of put in that week, I knew, alright, you know what, and we kind of retested the $8 bids. I added even more, covered under VWAP, under 750, and I added back everything as I saw that it was super heavy, and I knew a lot of people would be bagged on this one, and yeah, covered some more here, shorted more into the close, alright, and I covered after hours. Unfortunately, I was really impatient, so I basically covered a few cents lower at like 680, I think, and like 30 minutes later, it was like at 650 or something. So a bit of a miss right there on that last cover, but yeah, can't change it. And a thing that I keep in mind for the next time we see something like AXGT and a big long trap. ATAI looks a bit more like a mess, but actually it was one of the best managed tickers, I think, in June for me personally. What I did was I started in pre-market, same thing, towards like 350 or something, or where was it again? So higher, right? It was higher, can't remember exactly where I shorted it. Once I'm done with the ticker, usually I don't even remember exactly where it was in pre-market. I only know the fundamentals about that. So started shorting, and at the open saw a pop, which made me super happy because usually we didn't see any pops um, in this month in general. So shorted some into the pop, shorted more towards the open once it came back, thinking green-red move. And as you can see, that's exactly what we got. But so as you can see, it's a 5-minute chart, but on the 1 minute, we saw some absorbing, all right? That was not really like panic, it was more like shorts are trying to push it down. So covered here most, I think, or like half or something. And once we pop, all right, I thought, you know what, I'm gonna risk off this high of day. So I shorted some more, got stopped out, basically the ad right there. My stop was a bit higher, I think, because I had entries higher, so my average was really good. And once we rejected that 320 and we didn't see any follow through, I added some more, and my stop was like 320, I think. But I saw some big buying on the tape, so took off the ad, which was right here. But as we stopped, same thing, stopped right away, and I saw some bid propping, added back everything here and a bit more there. Then basically I knew this stock is really likely to be completely done. All right, once we tried to break the high of day and we fail, it's usually the manipulators trying to find some liquidity to get their position off or lighten their position. So added into the first pop towards 3 as we rejected, and then midday we popped over 3 again on some bigger volume, but same thing, looked heavy, all right, no follow through whatsoever, and my stop was at 320. So added more, all right, covered some at the support area, I think 1/4, yeah, 1/4. Yeah, end of day, I knew a lot of people were bagged, no buying whatsoever. Volume is smaller, so everyone who got long, as you can see on bigger volume at the open in here, is in the red every single long, so they're gonna bail late day usually, especially on a Friday. They don't want to hold over, and yeah, covered right around the support, and at the close, I thought we may see like the low 60s. But as you can see right here, took it off at 270 for a really, really nice winner. And the last one I'm going to show you is PTN. All right, PTN, the news was just so great. All right, we had the news looked good on the surface, but it was pretty bad. All right, because the thing is, they finished their drug, which is usually pretty good, but they're sold most of the rights to bigger firms. And they got, I think, 300 million from some company because they finished the drug. But 300 million basically covers what they spend on the drug, on the making of the drug. And yeah, the drug isn't even theirs anymore, so they're basically making no profit whatsoever. And the main drug they had is not even theirs anymore. Plus, we had a lot of dilution, and we saw a big seller pre-market. On this one, I tried to get in towards $2. I had one, I remember exactly because I tried to get in at 198, 96, 94, 93, 95. So everywhere near that, but they had SSR on, and it was super hard to fill, so didn't get the fills, I think. I may have gotten in a bit into the 180s, but can't remember exactly, so let's say I didn't. But at the open, right away, small pop, but I saw selling right away. I think we had an ATM on this one. So hammered it right away. First pop, same thing, super, super, super heavy. Shorted some more, covered basically at the gap fill area once we bounced off of it, just to lighten the position, thinking SSR is on and we could see a move towards 150, some kind of pop where I could re-add, so why not take a partial there. And we were already at the first target from the stats. Took some off, second dip, second wash, all right, took some more off. Now we were red on the day, and then the whole, basically midday, we consolidated, had a nice wash towards 120. I think my order was like at 116, which was like 1 or 2 cents below the low of day. I remember it because I knew, all right, I wrote in chat like it happened again. They didn't take my order, it bounced off of it. Yeah, covered right away because I knew, all right, you know what, it's super overextended. We saw some selling the whole day, some bigger volume on that candle, and I knew basically most of the times those stocks tend to bounce, especially on SSR, because a few shorts would get in here, feeling FOMO, and yeah, so that's why I exited. All right, that's gonna be all for the video. As I said, I'm gonna recap those plays that I just showed you now in detail. All right, technical analysis and fundamental analysis in the next video. If you have any questions, ask them in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.